Hello Andy, hope you all are doing wonderful preparation. Welcome to our channel Disc Civil Services in Detail, guiding aspirants to become officers. Let's begin our session of international relations. Recently, an article published in the Hindu editorial titled India is losing West Asia, but it is not too late. So this article is highly important. We are going to discuss India-West Asian relations as well as different kinds of bilateral and multilateral agreements signed and what India is doing to gain its significance, how geopolitics, especially West Asian crisis, is giving huge impact on India. So this article is exclusively discussing about India is losing West Asia, one country at a time. So since historical context, if we see, we have very good relations. If you see 2016, Saudi Arabia awarded India's Prime Minister its highest civilian honor. See here in this para, it has been clearly mentioned. And in 2021, I2 U2 agreement was signed binding India, Israel, US, UAE together, where they focused more in after completing this article I will explain all these in detail too. So where they focused more on geo-economic development instead of military alliance kind of. So in 2024 again Iran leased Chabahar to India. So all these successes though are now memories from the past. So here in this historical context you have very good relations with West Asian nations. So what's happening now? Why these tensions are giving rise to hindering the relations between India and West Asian nations? So what you are expecting in 2026? Whether it's a Trump's tariffs, whether it's oil crisis, whether it's a US Israel Iran issue, whether it's a Pakistan issues, whether it's Gaza Palestine issue, whether it's a huge impact or interference of Pakistan's military strength, or else recent Makkah's pact which was signed, all these are giving a huge significance. So how it is going to strike in multiple countries, we'll see. So in the last 4 months, US-Israel war with Iran has escalated into a catastrophic regional conflict with Iran attacking Gulf Cooperation Council. Saudis hitting Iraqis, Houthis attacking Saudi ships, Israel carrying out strikes in multiple countries. We have heard lots of discussions. We have done lot of analysis on this Strait of Hormuz, these attacks, strikes, and all these things. So among the Gulf countries, there is an issue where they are trying to how to handle this threat through engagement or through deterrence. So they are now focusing on whether they have to go or whether they have to follow this deterrence mechanism. So now in this context, Pakistan role as a mediator is gaining influence. So even after latest collective defense pact in Makkah, where this Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Pakistan comes into this context, the pact may means less in shaping US-Iran war, but it is giving lots of impact. So this practice does aim less at Iran and more at deterring Israel. All these three countries seeing themselves as the next target of Israel, so they are coming up with this kind of pact. So it's a kind of pulling Saudi Arabia's capital, Pakistan's military strength, and Turkey's technological advances. So this is challenge and this is concern for India. So here in this article you will understand how India is going to gain its what is called importance, significance like it has earlier. So now in this article they have given few choices for India from Israel's perspective, Iran's perspective, Pakistan's perspective, US perspective. So India can choose to sign military alliances with Israel and UAE, but this would hurt what is left of India's relationship with Iran. So here how India is going to face crisis if it is having good relations with another. So this is the high time India has to focus more on strategic autonomy as well as diplomatic strengthening diplomatic relations. So it has to be more smart rather than taking on one side, as well as it has to focus more on UN recognized governments in conflicts as well as on Sudan's where UAE emerging unescalated or conflicts creating conflicts kind of these. So how remittances from UAE is giving huge impact and how workers in Gulf Cooperation Councils or how these oil investments, oils and all these imports etc. are playing a crucial role in trade and export. We are going to understand and we have to understand that's simple. So or India can pick a third way. So here they have given a three ways. One is India's strategy for Israel's victory, where it has to taken care of both US and Israel, or something like signing military alliances with Israel and UAE, or something it has to be re-engaging with the Saudis, with whom it has no explicit differences. So all these are some points, as well as focusing more on maritime security, etc. So India can also point way forward suggested is India can also appoint a new special envoy for West Asia. The one is not focusing exclusively on Israel-Palestine peace process, but necessarily it has to cover all dimensions. And also it has given another point where it has to plan military engagements and exchanges to strengthen regional defenses. So it has two things. One is it has to do this special envoy kind of, and it has to focus more on military exchanges. So that it can strengthen its maritime cooperations and everything. So India's proactive participation is critical in influencing West Asian peace, stability, leveraging its regional capacity, responsibility, etc. So let's see this article again in little bit of like crux. So cooperating with Egypt for maritime security in Red Asia. So this is something highly important, and enhancing security collaborations with Jordan and Lebanon, sorry. So this is something, another act it has to, it can be done, or all these are summary I'm giving, or it has to rebuilding trust with Arab nations and Iran. So these kind of activities it has to be taken care of, so that increasing threat to maritime interest can be tackled properly. So let's see here, India having strong relations with West Asian nations since last few decades. So West Asian nations have very crucial role, not in the terms of trade or economy or oil prices or something, also in the terms of cultural impact, cultural exchanges, and more number of Indian workers in Gulf nations, as well as oils, investments, gas, and remittances. So all these are like directly, indirectly we depended, and we have strong ties with both the nations. So now you have to understand Iran is playing a crucial role in the terms of location. So Iran is the one where from India's Chabahar port is playing crucial role, where it can enter into Central Asia through this Chabahar port. So which is accelerating access to Afghanistan, Central Asia through Chabahar port. So Iran is very crucial. Israel is crucial in the terms of not only oils, gas, it also important in the terms of defense, countering terrorism, and most importantly intelligence cooperation. So this is something, and the most important point. Other than that, if you are going through the article again, they have come across few keywords, that is nothing but I2U2, GCC, and Makkah Pact. We have discussed enough about Makkah and GCC in the previous sessions. So how it is going to impact the role, and how it is change the geopolitics, etc. So I2U2 is nothing but something which was started discussing in 2021, but formally came into action in 2022, and it is an acronym of India, Israel, US, UAE. So it is also called as Quad, New Quad, or Middle East Quad, or something like West Asian Quad. So these are the, if you get a question on I2U2 is in recent news, which of the following statements are correct? They may give you 4 or 5 statements, or they may ask you it is also called as BRICS, new BRICS, or it is also called as new Quad, or it is also called as something alternate to Asian. So you should have a basic clarity about this article. And this is something which is focusing exclusively on geo-economic development as well as regional stability. So something which has been taken care of to maintain strong relations as well as unity between those four nations. And it is also focusing on 6 factors or 6 key areas which are the prime factors to focus on, and those are nothing but water, energy, transportation, and health, space, food security is and the most important point. See, let me tell you once again, this is nothing but having a global grouping which is exchanging interests and everything. See, India is in such location where it is, see here mapper, where it is covering the maritime, focusing a lot on Indian Ocean region or maritime cooperation exclusively because of the regional significance, choke point kind of. So Arabian Sea, Gulf of Aden, where it is connecting Red Sea, Suez, all these things, so that it can control these anti-piracy, drug trafficking, creating more awareness on commercial shipping, as well as covering more on maritime security, defense cooperations, exchanges of these weapons and everything, so that these maritime security and maritime cooperation can be taken proper care. Because we are focusing a lot on Indian Ocean region in recent years to avoid these conflicts, and increasing Chinese influence is one reason, and involvement of Pakistan is one reason for losing these interest in West Asia. So this author is clearly suggesting, instead of you treating West Asia as a distant region, now focus it and treat it as a immediate neighbor, so that you can utilize the fullest, utilize its potential to the fullest. So India has both the capacity, responsibility to help restore peace and predictability in the region. So instead of you taking on one stand or one side, you have strong relations and multilateral as well as bilateral relations with each and everyone on that particular region, so that your maritime cooperation, your trade, and your other whatever relations you are maintaining, that should be helpful. This is what they are saying.